Okay, so I thought I'd do another video. This one's all about eyebrows. Now, this has been requested by my friend Amanda. Amanda, here's your video. Right, eyebrows. Not everyone is blessed with these beautiful, stunning eyebrows we see all over magazines at the moment. Some people just haven't got very good eyebrows. They were born with shit eyebrows. Some people, as they've got older, they've lost their eyebrows. Other people, like myself, had fantastic eyebrows, but had their teenage years in the 90s, and thus, because of this, at the time, it was fashionable to pluck the hell out your eyebrows and have nothing left. We were all walking around, like, seriously, with these spiral perms, no eyebrows, like surprised poodles. So basically, any young girls out there who are watching my video now, if this trend ever comes back into fashion again, don't do it, because the little buggers don't grow back, okay? This is what's happened to me. I have got these chunks missing here where I've overplucked them to these little miniature shitty things that I have now. So I have to fake my eyebrows with products, basically. I don't know how to thread, I don't know how to wax, I don't know how to do any of them things. I'm hoping to learn, but at the moment I don't know how to do any of those things. So, lesson from me, whatever you do not overpluck your eyebrows, even if it comes back into fashion again, because I promise you'll regret it. It's one of those things where you're going to look back and you're going to think, what was I thinking? It's a bit like pouting, just saying. Anyway, moving on. So, this is how I shape my eyebrows. It might not work for everybody. It's not necessarily exactly how you might be taught to do it online in the tutorials and stuff, but this is how I do it, and I found this works for me, so it's just a little guide. So first of all, you need a little brush like this. This is called a spoolie brush. It's a bit like a mascara wand, and I just give them a good comb through first. So I do have quite a good shape of what's left of them. And I've been trying to grow them. Somebody's actually given me some good advice that castor oil is quite good. So I've been rubbing that in to try and get them to grow. So to get them nice and flat, like that first of all. And the first thing we're going to do is just outline them. So I'm just using my Youngblood dark coloured brow artiste palette. If you don't have this or can't afford it or whatever, you can just use some eyeshadow in a good colour for yourself. So I'm dark, so I need a dark one. You see there, this is my colour. So if you're a bit blonder, you could use something that kind of colour. Auburn people would want to look for something with more coppery colours in. But you can just use eyeshadow. I've found some eyeshadows do work well as brow powder. So the first thing I do is I outline my brow after I've brushed it all in. So as a guide, what you're supposed to do is you put a line from your nose up to your eyebrows. You can see there how short my eyebrow is for when over plucking it. My eyebrow should go right up to that line there. So I have to fake this hair here, and it's a pain in the ass. Right, so we're not going to draw this bit in yet. We're going to just start from where we were. I also think a good way to go is it's a little guide, is just there from your tear duct. Draw a straight line up from that. I find that easier, to be honest. So I just draw it there, and I just use a little bit of the gel and a little bit of the powder, and I do this, and I just draw a straight line from there. Now that straight line I've found takes you to where your arch should be. So the way you're meant to work this out is you do this from your nose, and you go across your pupil, centre of your eye, and where that ends, that's where your arch should be. But I've found that if you draw that straight line there from your corner of your eye, up like that, it more or less ends where the arch should be. Right, and then I don't draw the next bit from here because I don't want a line here. Even if you did have hair there, this bit here, you want this to be more faded. You don't want it to be black. There's a lot of people make that mistake with their eyebrows where they make the whole thing all dark. You're trying to mimic real eyebrows. So real eyebrows are lighter here because you've got less hair. It's less dense. It's less dense there. So you just go from there then, and again you draw a straight line till you break away from the eyebrow. Now I find doing that just takes you up to where your arch should be there. Yeah, just that straight line, and it meets that. So then Took me bloody ages to work out how to do these, by the way. I've gone through many phases of shit eyebrows. I'm still no expert, but they're a lot better than they used to be. Right, so then you're tilting your brush down a little bit. You're going from that where you were there, where you got to, and you're going down. Now I find if you're doing your eyebrows last after all the rest of your makeup, this is a good way of working it out. You just go across your eye, and you see this line, this angle there on your eye. You're just following that up, and that's where it should end. So you can do the, you know, the brush to the nose thing, but just following the angle of your eye is good too. And then you want a nice sharp crisp edge there. Oh, I hope I get it right for this video. Because it's one of them things you can get wrong, and it's so frustrating when you've got to go to work. There is apparently a little rule that says your eyebrows, they can be cousins or they can be sisters. They don't have to be twins. Now my good friend Kelly pointed out that that's fine, you just don't want them to be long distant relatives. So in other words, they don't have to be identical. But you know, they do want to look kind of the same, obviously. So that's sort of my shape. So I'm just going to fill all that in now. Fill it in, fill it in, fill it in, fill it in. Right, so obviously still got this bit missing. We'll do the other one. I should have done a Mr. Maker and done one first, shouldn't I? I'll have to learn how to speed stuff up for all the boring bits like they do on kids' craft programs. Run around the room in circles and that. Right, so that, there we go again, from that pupil, not the pupil, sorry, from your T duct, straight line, and again from this bit, straight line, annoying fringe, get out the way. And then to changing the angle of your brush, oh right, get a clip girl. Going down, following that angle from there, that's where it should end. So you use your brush, not just put it on, but to draw the lines and the angles. So we're going from there now to there, remember? Yeah. Fill it in. Right. So that's that bit done. So now's the trickier bit. And this is the bit that's took me a bit of time to perfect, because now we're faking the look of hair. Here it doesn't matter, it's, you know, you can make this darker. It's a more sort of matte and dark look. But here what we want it to look like is hair. So this is where the spoolie brush comes in again. So I just add a little bit more product there to that bottom bit. Just a little bit extra, because we're going to sort of borrow the product from that bit there. And then I get my spoolie brush and I just start pushing it up. Give them another little brush, borrow a bit of product from there, and just start pushing it up. And this sort of mimics, you can, if you've got some hairs, you can pull them into it as well. This sort of mimics the look of hair on your eyebrow. I'd like to get them both the same, so I'll start that one as well. Just using that product, pulling it in. And you can see it's starting to look, what you can do as well is you can get a lighter colour, and you can just put a little bit of a lighter colour in there as well. You don't want it to look too dark, you want it to look faded, like more sparse hair, yeah? So a little bit more lighter product. So you do need 2 shades of eyeshadow. Just have a play around, or a palette like what I'm using now. Just borrowing that product from the bottom, pulling it in, and then just give them a little brush through. Even it all out. And there we go. So that's how I do my eyebrows. It might not work for everybody, but that's the easiest way that I've found out to do them. There we go. Thanks guys. Bye Mandy.